So welcome to TEDx. It was a pleasure having you here. And I want to hear a little bit of your experience on stage. Is it the first TEDx you do?
This is my TEDx number 4, to be honest.
TEDx number 4, but in Cyprus is your...
In Cyprus, that's my first TEDx, yes.
And how did it feel? How was the experience?
I mean, it feels like the first time when you go on stage. Definitely this was different because it's the University of Nicosia and I graduated from the University of Nicosia.
So I wanted to ask you, how did you come up with the invisible man and the Bitcoin? Like, that is very clever, doing the crypto with the ID thing. It was the cleverest thing I ever heard.
Thank you. I think when you put people in difficult situations and difficult positions, this is when the innovation really comes out. So we have an Arabic saying, al-haja al-ikhtira. So the need is the mother of all invention. The combination of crypto, identity, pizza, and Bitcoin came from the need that I had in the camp, in the refugee camps. So to take it a step back, I lived 2 years in the Dutch refugee camps, as my Syrian nationality forced me to be in a refugee camp. And the food there was not, it was good. Of course, we thank the Dutch refugee services for offering the refugees a meal every day. But at a certain extent, eating the same food every day was okay. But then you reach a level where you say, okay, I need to try something else. Especially if you're used to eating shawarma and kebab and all the nice falafel and all these nice Syrian delicious food. I wanted to order food, and as a refugee, you don't have an identity. You're waiting for the asylum process to finish, so that you can get your permit to stay in the country. That means without an identity, you cannot get a bank account. And to order online food today, you need either a credit card or a PayPal or a bank account. And in 2010, with the Bitcoin innovation coming to the world, this means that people can be financially included without having an identity. So when you transact or when you touch Bitcoin, nobody will ask you for your first name, your last name, your date of birth, your place of birth, your nationality, your passport number. It's a simple application that you will download, and there you have access to money. So I used Bitcoin to order pizza and enjoy something that everybody enjoys on the weekend, watching Netflix. Since you're also in the newspaper business, let's say, one of the work that I did in the camp, so of course you have, let's say, to fill in your Bitcoin wallet, you have to top it up. So where did that money come from? That's what always people ask. Okay, we know that you can download a Bitcoin wallet, but there's no money actually on it. So where did that money come from? Because I speak English and Arabic as well, and I was studying online at the University of Nicosia while I was in the refugee camp. So combined with my passion for Bitcoin that goes back to 2012, I came in touch with reporters, newspaper editors that wanted to fact check or wanted to write articles about Bitcoin or even translate some articles about Bitcoin from English to Arabic. So I helped them with that, and I asked them for a payment, and they pay me in Bitcoin. So they would pay me 20 euros or 50 euros. I was also a moderator on a forum called bitcoin.com. So my job was to take care of the Arabic section there, where if people are posting, let's say, bad words or bad images, my responsibility was to take them out. Because I was always online, the people were tipping me with Bitcoins. So this is how the money came from. And then when I saw the website in the Netherlands where you can pay for your food, not only pizza, you can order any food that you want. You can pay with PayPal, with your bank card, but they had also a Bitcoin option there. And because Bitcoin can be divisible, or you can break it into more than 10 pieces, actually you can you can break Bitcoin into a 0.000001 part. So today people think that we just need to, you can only buy one full piece, but what they don't realize is you can have €2 worth of Bitcoin, you can have €5 worth of Bitcoin, you can have €20 worth of Bitcoin. So my message to the people always is, if you have spare change end of the day or end of the month, even if it's €2 or €10 or €20, put that into Bitcoin and not in your plastic cup at home, where basically physical coins end up accumulating for 5-10 years and nothing happens with it.
Okay, and you said that there are many people who followed your idea about the non-ID thing and the Bitcoin thing.
Yeah, well, because the technology behind Bitcoin is all about ledgers, and ledgers are books, and on the books you can write today your you can have a book. For example, in Syria we have a huge book in the government where when people are born they are handwritten there. So you go to the registry and the person there would open a massive book that's like 1 meter by 1 meter, and in the pages inside, or the family history is written. If we get that same idea, that book is centralized, it's with one person, with one organization, with one institution. If we look at Bitcoin, there is a similar book, it's a digital book, but distributed among all people around the world. So if one ledger is lost, there is others that are still alive and still online. So the idea that I had, can we register the fingerprints of digital documents on these distributed books? Digital documents, they have fingerprints like human beings. So I have 10 fingers, each finger has a unique fingerprint. A digital document has also a unique fingerprint. So you're able to extract that unique fingerprint and register it on that ledger. And anytime you present your document, your digital document, to a third party, he's able to compare the fingerprint of the document with what is written on this big global ledger. Now, because the ledger is global and because it's distributed, you cannot change things in it easily. Okay. In fact, it's nearly impossible to change things. So in my situation, I was born in Kuwait and I lost my birth certificate, and today I cannot prove where I was born. If the technology existed in 1990 and the government was using this blockchain ledger to register the moment of births or the digital fingerprints of someone's birth, then I could easily show to anyone around the world that, hey, that's my digital file that says I am born. This is the fingerprint of the file. Please look on the blockchain and see that this file exists and has never been changed since that time.
Yeah. And also another thing I want to ask you, there is different types of crypto currencies and stuff. It's Libra, Facebook Libra, and then it's Bitcoin, and there is another one and I'm missing it.
Yeah, the US dollar, that's the other electronic money that is there, that is there, and the Ethereum network as well.
So out of these, which one would you think it's the most reliable?
I mean, when we say reliable, we're talking from a user experience, which one would the user be more comfortable with to use? And definitely it would be Libra, if we want to just focus on what is easy for the consumer or what is easy for the user to access, to understand, and to use. But is it safe? Is it secure? Does it fit the purpose of including people financially? Does it fit the purpose of empowering people? No, because, for example, Libra cannot operate in India, knowing that India is the largest user base of Facebook users. So Facebook has much of its users coming from India, but their currency that they're planning to launch will not work in India because the government does not allow it, in very simple terms. Now we look at Bitcoin, a technology that doesn't take permission to exist, that doesn't take permission to transact, that doesn't take permission to hold. This is where the future is, because if we needed today permission to use emails and internet, me and you, we wouldn't be sitting here. And Bitcoin is similar in its innovation to how internet changed communication. In 1995, when I wanted to write letters, when I wanted to communicate with my mother or my grandmother in Syria, or my mother in the US, I needed to write letters. There was basically no access for me for emails yet. So today, my grandma uses her finger, she swipes on a screen, clicks on an icon, looks at my picture, click on it and call me. WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. We need Bitcoin to be in a similar stage qua user experience, where I don't have to manage keys, I don't have to memorize long keywords, and I'm familiar with QR codes, at least those three basic things.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you so much.
Is there a last message you want to give to us and to people who are interested in Bitcoin?
I think definitely that people are looking at Bitcoin from a price perspective. What's the price going up? Is the price going down? But there is a huge potential for this technology to bring the impact that it was designed for in the first place. We have today 1.7 billion people without bank accounts. And even if you're living in Europe or in the US or anywhere around the world, there is big barriers and restrictions when it comes to financial transactions. We cannot transact to Iran, we cannot transact to North Korea. We have today a technology that is changing the way money is designed, the money is created, the money is circulated. And when you change the innovations or when you apply this technology to money, the world will change. Look how, again, internet changed the world with communication. Imagine what Bitcoin would do to money. And since money is controlled by like few powers around the world, they decide
how it goes, how it rotates,
how tomorrow will look like. Now that power is back to the people.